So the Eagles will travel to Dallas to take on the Cowboys this weekend, but it doesn't really feel like a normal hate week, primarily because the Cowboys are trash, but could that actually go against the Birds? Also, Eagle fans should be pumped as the Birds are expected to get one of their best weapons back on the field this Sunday, and one Eagles rookie has the chance to put the entire league on notice. I think he's going to do it, so we'll talk about all that and a few keys for the Birds to get another W on Sunday and keep the streak rolling. But welcome in to A to Z Philly. I'm RB. Do me a favor, like this video. If you can't stand the Dallas Cowboys like I do, go down, hit that subscribe button, help us get to 7K subscribers. We'll start it off with our normal injury report. This was the final Thursday report. I'm recording this here on Friday morning, so if we get any other updates, we'll see how those play out. But as of right now, the Eagles limited participants yesterday. Fred Johnson with a knee. Don't know if he's going to go. Haven't heard much on that. Devontae Smith was listed with a hammy, but seems to be okay. He was out there practicing, so he looked okay. I hope Devontae's good to go. They're going to need him, of course. Nolan Smith with a groin, and Ben Van Sumeren had that concussion playing fullback last week. A lot of other guys showing up here on the injury report, but the biggest one to keep your eyes on is A.J. Brown. He was a full participant at practice. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ is okay. We can all sit back and take a deep breath. I was getting worried last week when he went out. Didn't look good after that hit, but AJ is good. If AJ and Devontae are on the field, there is absolutely no way that the Eagles are losing this game. Look, I don't really guarantee wins like that. Eagles are going to crush this team if AJ and Devontae are on the field. Darius Slay looks like he's back and good to go. And Dallas Goedert, also a full participant. So Birds getting healthy at the right time, but Dallas Cowboys, not so much. Here was their injury report from Thursday. Deron Bland still did not play, hasn't played yet this season. Tyler Guyton, the tackle, was limited. CeeDee Lamb was limited as well. Micah Parsons was limited. Looks like he will return this weekend, and he's a game changer. You know, you have to keep your eyes on him. We'll talk about that. Dak Prescott obviously out with the hamstring injury, and Zach Martin might miss a game, which would be huge for the Eagles' defensive line. So Cowboys banged up at the wrong time. They are in desperation mode. Let's talk about the Cowboys for a second. They are in we must win mode at the worst exact time, right? Your quarterback goes down. He's going to get put on IR, and it might even need surgery. So Dak Prescott, your $60 million guy's out. You have no running game. CeeDee Lamb is banged up. Micah Parsons is coming back from a significant injury, so you don't know what he's going to look like. And you're 3-5. You're 3-5 and on the verge of potentially getting your butt whooped by a team who is very hot right now. For the Dallas Cowboy fans, you deserve this. I mean, Dallas Cowboy fans are some of the absolute worst in the world. They are delusional. They act like they're winning the Super Bowl every year. I know there's a great rivalry, so I respect the rivalry part. But for most of, I'd say 80% of the Cowboy fans that I've ever talked to, that you can't even talk to them. It's like talking to a brick wall. So you know what? You came into the season, and I said in the offseason that the Eagles and Commanders would run this division because the Cowboys did absolutely nothing to address the roster. They brought back the coach that got wiped in the playoffs. Their quarterback just got $60 million per year, and he's not even that good. And that is the story of the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm sitting back laughing. Couple quick stats for you here as we begin this one. One is that the Eagles have not won in Dallas since the 2017-18 season. And number two is the Eagles have not beat the Cowboys both times in the same season since 2011. I think both of those things get shattered this year. I think the Eagles are winning in Dallas on Sunday, hopefully by a wide margin. And I think the Eagles are going to win both games against the Cowboys this year. I think this is the game where Cowboys are finally done and they say, you know what? Yeah, time to give up on the season. Should have been sellers at the deadline. That's a different story. But the Eagles just have to stay locked in, focus on themselves. And kind of like I said last week, they need to come out with a big punch. That's exactly what the Birds did. Now, you know, the Saquon fumble, things like that, almost let the Jags back into it. I would say the Eagles can't get too much wrapped up in the rivalry part of it. Just go out there and beat down on a bad team. Being realistic here, they are a really bad football team. Like the best part about their team was their passing attack, and now Dak Prescott is hurt. So we look at the Cowboys, they're averaging the fourth most passing yards in the NFL. Now they have Cooper Rush, and I really don't want to hear people come in saying, well, you got to beware of Cooper Rush. Got to beware. Look, respect to Cooper Rush. I think he's been with the team like 7 seasons. He's a good backup. He's a good backup. He's a game manager. He's not anything extraordinaire. If he was, he would have gotten a starter contract years ago. And when we look at the Cowboys rushing attack, right now they are the second worst team in the NFL when it comes to rushing yards, 82 per game. Their leading rusher is averaging only about 45 rushing yards per game. And then you have Ezekiel Elliott, by the way, who isn't even a part of this team anymore. I mean, he's there. He didn't even play last week. He had like disciplinary issues. And then we look at points per game, the Dallas Cowboys in the bottom third as well. So this team's only averaging 21.4 points per game. They cannot run the football. They're not a balanced offense. They have really no balanced attack at all. And the best component about their team is now deflated because Dak Prescott is injured. So you see where I'm trending here? The Cowboys should not have any juice or life in this game. Let's flip it to the defensive end, okay? The Dallas Cowboys are giving up the second most points in the NFL per game, 28.1 points per game. On the ground, not only can they not run the football, they are also giving up the third most rushing yards per game. So there's no reason for me to believe that if the Eagles come out here and do what they have done the last couple weeks and implement the same identity, they should not be able to run away with this football game. No pun intended. Saquon Barkley might have an even better game this week. He might go for 200 yards. That's how bad the Dallas defense has been, and they should not be able to generate anything. The only way that this comes into play, and I know we talked about it last week, is, well, if it's a trap game. I don't really believe that much in trap games. I know the Eagles could potentially get, wrapped up in the division part of it and the rivalry, but this Cowboys team should not have any confidence. The Eagles should be the ones to have the confidence to come out and finally punch a team in the mouth. That's my main key in this game. Come out, run the football early, punch them in the mouth, and control the time of possession. Don't even give them any chances, right? Don't give them the football. Come out here, get a couple big stops, maybe force a turnover on Cooper Rush in the first quarter. And if it is true that the Eagles will have Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, I mean, you look at the Dallas Cowboys, like I said, their secondary's banged up. They don't have anybody that can cover these guys. I don't really think any team can cover Devontae and A.J., both of them at the same time. You get Goddard back, hopefully, this week. Calcaterra has been great. Saquon is just on a different planet right now. And even Jahan Dotson had a nice catch last week. So Eagles should be able to come out here, and it's going to be really nice for Kellen Moore to stick it to the Cowboys as well, as a guy who was there and heavily criticized. And matter of fact, Kellen Moore was Cooper Rush's teammate. That's how freaking long that guy has been the backup quarterback for that team. Second main key in this game, Eagles offensive line has to hold up. Micah Parsons is coming back this week most likely, and while he's probably still a bit banged up, might feel he's in desperation mode, the Eagles will still have to do things to keep him away from Jalen Hurts, because Micah Parsons, as we know, is a generational talent. He's an absolute game changer. And in the right situation, right, they're probably going to line him up everywhere. I mean, again, we don't know if Fred Johnson's going to go. It might be Tyler Steen. I've seen Jack Driscoll's name popping up this week. So we don't really know what the final version is going to be yet. But Micah Parsons will line up everywhere on the field, and they're going to try to let him just go crazy and get to Jalen Hurts and maybe force a fumble. Micah Parsons this season only has, one sack, and he's only played 4 games. So Carl Lawson had 2 last week against the Falcons. Keep your eyes on him. DeMarcus Lawrence is old and washed and past his prime at this point. Cowboys just don't have enough talent. They should not really be able to do anything, and you should be able to strike some big plays in this game. I'm expecting Jalen to, again, play a clean football game, but, just make it easier for yourselves. Let's have one of these games where you go out again and you score 20 in the first half. And lastly, I'll say the same thing. The Eagles defensive line has to get pressure on Cooper Rush. Josh Sweat, 5 sacks in the last 5 games. Jalen Carter's been a menace, right? You have some of these other guys rotating in and out. They said Bryce Huff is going to be more of a rotational piece, but Nolan Smith has been great against the run. Zach Ball and Nakobe Dean have been great tackling in the open field, even in coverage. And I think the one rookie in this game that has a really good chance to put the league on notice is Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean is going to probably be lined up against CeeDee Lamb in the slot a lot in this game. They might have him on the outside against Quinyon. I think Slay's coming back. But nonetheless, Cooper DeJean, as Eagle fans know, has had a tremendous start to this season, right? Ever since he got inserted as starter over Avonte Maddox, He's just been on a different level. And I'm expecting Cooper DeJean to rise to the moment and put a clamp on CeeDee Lamb. And then that will show the rest of the NFL, like, yeah, it's not only the Quinyon show. Cooper DeJean's also, or probably should also be in the running for Rookie of the Year. That's how damn good he has been. Look, I'm expecting CeeDee Lamb to get his. He's a talented receiver dealing with an injury, but, you know, even if he gets 50 to 100 yards, just don't let him make the big play. I have utmost confidence in this Eagles team right now. And the last thing I'll say is that it's time to get a little swagger with this team, right? You know, we've been going week by week saying, okay, well, they're playing a bad team. Will they keep it up? Are they good enough? Are they this? Are they that? I feel now, yeah, they're good. They're good. They can get it done. Go into Dallas and shut every one of those damn fans up. I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles 33-21 in this game. Nick Sirianni, don't do anything to mess it up. Ladies and gentlemen, give me your thoughts and predictions down in the comments. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. And as always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.
On BetMGM Casino, there are so many jackpots that you never know when one will go. So many jackpots. So many jackpots. BetMGM Casino. Jackpots. So many.
Download to get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 on the house. BetMGM Casino.